Alright, brothers and sisters, another day, another dip, and especially the wait for the altcoin season continues. In today's video, we're going to be talking about when finally we're going to see this, as we're going to talk about which altcoin should we be looking at exactly. So with no further ado, let's get into today's video. And as usual, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This show is not financial advice. This show is for entertainment, some education, and hopefully finding God. So finally, we've seen Bitcoin pump over the weekend, and now we're seeing retrace. And the reason we are seeing this retrace on Bitcoin, it's very simple, is keep that in mind all the time. Whenever we have a weekend pump, we do have a retrace. So even on Monday, it continued to rally, but we left a bit of a CME gap around $110,000 Bitcoin. So it appears that Bitcoin is maybe trying to go for it. It's pretty close to where we are at today, so we could be pretty much going back to 110,500, somewhere around this region here, and then we continue upwards after the weekend pump basically. So this is what's pretty much causing today's dip. Now what's funny about these markets now is whenever we see a dip, it's kind of like the market does not like dips anymore. We have a dip fatigue now, and the dip fatigue is basically we've been waiting for too long for a bullish market, even though Bitcoin has been pumping, but altcoins have not really done something very big, and the ones that did rally like Aster recently, most people missed. So that causes people to really fear the dips right now. So that's why we've been in this crypto fear and greed reading now for too long. And as you see here in this crypto fear and greed, which in my opinion now, the crypto fear and greed index has been very accurate to telling us when to buy and when to sell since 2023 basically. So whenever it's extreme fear, it's the best time to buy and fear, and whenever we are below 50 here or around 50, and whenever we are in extreme greed, which we haven't seen for a while, it is pretty much a good time to start taking some profits. Now we have not seen extreme greed so far since November of 2024, so we are closing into a year of no alt season. So that is very understandable why the market feels so bad whenever we have a dip, because it just adds more to the pain. And what are the odds that we see again extreme greed by November this year? So we're ending now September and we are entering October and hopefully October, and we have some good signs already. We have 546 million of inflows on Ethereum, which is very big. Ethereum is our index of these altcoins. Now, the more ETFs, the more the big banks buy Ethereum and not Bitcoin, the more it signals that these big banks expect a big boom for risk assets like Ethereum, and especially that we have the rate cuts as well coming in. Again, more rate cuts. We have odds of 92% coming in on the 29th of October, which is the next month, by tomorrow. And when we see these inflows on Ethereum, this 546 million, it just tells me that the banks are expecting some real big shift here. The money printer is coming. Ethereum now finally broke above that 4K level, which was holding us for a long time, and we broke above it. So keep that in mind. This is very important to remember whenever we have dips. Is you can see how on the weekly charts here, Ethereum closed this weekly candle right above this resistance, which is a 4,000 that held us for a long time. We traded below it, and now we closed above it on the weekly, which is very strong. If we look at the 4 hour as well, we reclaimed it, and now we're trading back into this range. And we even started changing market structure, which we will see here with Ethereum taking this previous high. So we have equal highs now on Ethereum here on the lower time frames after this deviation. So these are all strong signs here for a bit of a choppy time before the pump, which we've seen here as well with Ethereum. If you remember, now around this time as well, this was the worst time ever, this April, which was also the lowest point on the fear and greed index around April last year, which we've seen a big mess happen. That was the worst day for altcoins. And right after it, we've seen this pump on Ethereum, and then we've seen this fake out happen here, and then later we've seen Ethereum send. So if you see the same thing now today is happening, when we look at Ethereum, we had this sideways, then this fake out, and then we're back into the range, probably slowly climbing back up for a new all-time high on Ethereum. As I said, I do expect Ethereum to make new all-time highs. I do expect Bitcoin to make new all-time highs, and I do expect a big altcoin season to happen. And as I always said, that I've never seen markets top on fear. They usually top on extreme greed, which we have not seen yet. It's slowly building up now with the recent pump, with this recent 60x plus pump on Aster. We recently started seeing more and more pumps happen on larger cap altcoins like BNB, like XRP, like Aster. Even seen Apex, which I talked about on my previous video, which as well I shared with you on my Discord. Link in the description is free to join. And we got in right around here. I made the video last time right around here, and then it's sent. And this is basically like Aster, but this is the Bybit DEX basically. So Aster is for Binance and Apex is for Bybit. So we're seeing now this DEX, perpetual trading DEX's war, where every big exchange is backing up a perpetual DEX exchange, and we're seeing these coins go parabolic recently. So Apex went parabolic recently. Since my previous video, basically it pumped 3x plus, which is crazy to see that 3x plus, and now it's retracing as the market is retracing. And I do believe this to be a very strong altcoin going forward, as well as I'm still waiting for Aster to give us any major dips to start accumulating this spot. I do believe this will be a big coin as well for this altcoin season. These are all utility coins that have picked up a lot of hype recently, and especially that they are backed by real big institutions and exchanges and people, and they have caught a lot of attention and a lot of eyes, which means likely they perform as the top coins of this cycle. And we're seeing Aster now flooring around this level here, around 177, but still have not yet pulled the trigger on it on spot. And we have few levels like 130, and then we have this 170, and the lowest point would be around 0.80, which for now it seems like it might not get there. But as I said, usually these coins, when they just launch with a lot of hype, they have around 4 weeks of hype and strength before they really pull back. And now we are on the third week of Aster, so I do believe Aster still got some room here to pump and grow before we see a sustained hype cool off and a floor where we can safely say this is a good area for spot accumulation. But for now, I'm just looking at it here doing its thing. And we're seeing mostly now Ethereum. I do believe Ethereum and Bitcoin will start getting most of the inflows now, and most of the volume, as now the market, as soon as it starts to be more fearful, Bitcoin becomes king and Ethereum follows. And as for Memecoins continues to grind sideways because we don't have yet that much FOMO and that much greed, and the market is, as you see it, not very confident when it comes to altcoins. So most of the altcoins are just going sideways right now. So we have Pepe going sideways, Toshi going sideways. We got even SPX now pulling back. We could see $400 million SPX. I think if that happens. Now we have Brett going sideways, and we have Dorky as well going sideways. We have other lower cap memes that I've talked about that are still going sideways. So mostly meme coins are going sideways. Not much going on. Even the daily runners, we don't have much daily runners happening these days. And especially we have the DEX Meta, which is the one that is showing the most of the strengths right now. Now, before we close this video, this is what we really need for a real major alt season. So we got a bit of it happen now with Aster, with Hyperliquid, with Pump, with all these coins that we've seen recently pull major gains. A 60x on a liquid coin like Aster is not a joke. It's a big sign of a shift in the market, but it's just the beginning of it. And now we're still seeing Bitcoin dominance is trying to come back, retest this trend line that it broke. So telling us that we might see a bit of stagnation on altcoins, which is good news for those that missed the pumps or the recent coins that pumped. And then we see this pull back. So this is the actual alt season, which hasn't happened yet. And I say again, with rate cuts, with more rate cuts coming, and we're seeing more ETH or big ETH inflows coming in, ETF inflows, I do believe now that big money is expecting alt season here. And I remember I said as well that I would be really concerned if I I see only red outflows on Ethereum. As you can see, we had some outflows here, 76 million, 140, 79, 200, 200, and then we had 500, which is big, like recovering almost 2 days of outflows in 1 day of inflow. So this shows a big appetite by big banks and institutions and ETFs towards Ethereum. And if I were to see only red days and big days of sell-offs like 500 million, 1 billion, then I would say that the big banks and the big boys up there are not very confident about altcoins, but they are buying and buying big and buying Ethereum big. So when we say Ethereum pumping, this also means a rotation, a big rotation also going towards altcoins. And we have more ETFs coming as well, more altcoin ETFs like Solana, Doge, XRP, and others, which means more money being injected into the crypto space, which finds its way sooner or later into altcoins and meme coins. Anyways, guys, that's what we got today. Tuesday is a red day. Yesterday was a green day. We'll see if tomorrow will be a green day. And as I said, Bitcoin is going to fill the gap and then continue higher. That's what it looks like it's gonna do. And October usually is a very good month, as we call it October, and it could be the start of the major uptrend that we've been waiting for. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video till the end, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.